What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Mr. Dominic Cruz, and this is
Ruby.
And we're coming at you with another video. Yes, another one.
Another one.
And another one. We got something today, and basically Ruby is going to read it to you guys. I'm going to help this gentleman out, so let's get to it.
So this is a comment from one of the videos. Please make a video on how to deal with beating ourselves up for the past mistakes of chasing and breaking, no contact, etc. Dan Bacon has a completely different opinion on relationships. He made me look like a loser.
Oh, you want to take care of that one?
All right.
I got something that I'll say the rest of you though.
Okay, so the first point I'll start off with is if you expect perfection out of yourself, you're always going to be disappointed. So I think the biggest thing is to, give yourself grace and find progress, right? I'm not saying like never improve and be okay with that. I'm just saying you got to give yourself grace and knowing that you're not going to be perfect, but also, that as long as you keep getting better, that's kind of where some of the growth will come from.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I used to overthink. I look back actually of the things that I've done. I've watched Brad Browning stuff, so they're pretty much identical information. But Dan Bacon really does teach you how to actually how to actually make a fool of yourself. But how to stop beating yourself up is you need to accept your past mistakes. You need to accept. We're not all perfect. I mean, she even said it, we're not perfect. If you're striving to be a perfectionist, you're going to always be a disappointment. It sucks that, we make mistakes, but at the same time, it's beauty of what we know about ourselves, let me ask you this, Ruby. As a woman, from your perspective, do you think a lot about the mistakes that the guys make?
That guys make?
Well, like the mistake, do you?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you think about it like, do you hold it against them a lot?
All right. So let's be real. At one point in my life, I was in a verbally abusive relationship. That was not that cool. And to be honest, there's parts of me that does have a little bit of a grudge about that. But for the most part, I'm upset with myself about having taken that. And then to be also perfectly honest, at this point, I don't hold a grudge against that person themselves. And if that person were in my life, if they treated me differently now than they had treated me at that time, I feel like I would have grace with them, because our past selves and our past actions don't have to define who we are tomorrow. Right? But what we do today does.
Yes. What
we do today does define who we are tomorrow. But I think our past doesn't have to.
I love it. I really do. And honestly, the battle of overthinking of your past mistakes, it's okay to, we've all been to that phase too. I felt like, I can think of a million different things right now of why I keep thinking about so-and-so, but I'm only allowing myself to do that. And, no one else is forcing me to. And the thing is, you only have you to really move forward with it. And to stop thinking about it is just to accept it. And just be at peace with it, because you're not going to hate the person forever. And I think if you really change, if you really work on yourself, and you work on your purpose and mission, then you'll be at more peace. And, it's just like what she said. If that person had changed and they treated her differently, she would be at grace with it. And that's pretty much what it is. Anything that you've done, you follow Dan Bacon and Dan Bacon's advice, and it failed, that's okay. Failure leads to success.
Yeah, failure, success looks a lot like failure most of the time. Until you get there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I will be honest, you know, Ruby, I will say this too. I've actually used these videos as well to not only help myself, but I did actually use it to in hopes to get someone back, even after I let them go.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it was because, you know, there was no fight. I felt like I was being strung on. And, you know, for me, I think the more I started to stop thinking about them was to make these videos and actually help these guys out and help them thrive in life. And I think that's another way that you can also stop overthinking and stop beating yourself with the thoughts. I mean, as you know, from your perspective, when you see someone from the past that you've once dated and you see a completely different shift, you see a completely different shift. Let's just say that it didn't work out between you two, and you know, you can only remember them on how they made you feel before and stuff like that when you were in a relationship, and now you see this completely brand new person. They're more successful in life, they're actually more respectful, and they're actually more charming. And they're driven on their values.
Oh, wow.
Right? From a woman's perspective, what does that say to you?
To be honest, like, so much respect for that person, right? And I think, you know how they say, like, what is it? Hell hath no fury like a woman's revenge or something like that. Is that what they say? Something like that, right? Basically, women, we could be savage. But, you know, when you see someone and you see that they've had a lot of growth in themselves and they're more successful and, you know, they're just better people in general, I think that no matter what situation you're in as a woman, like whether you like kind of miss that person, whether you legitimately hadn't thought about that person a long time, whether you forgot that person existed, to be honest, whatever it might be, I feel like you're gonna have some respect for that person, right? Because, you know, change isn't super easy. And especially not change for the good, right? A lot of change for the good takes hard work, takes dedication, takes a big commitment, you know. And even if that person like hadn't been thinking about, you know, getting back with you or whatever, I think at the very minimum you're gonna have some kind of respect. Or, you know, depending on where that person is in their life, maybe they disrespect it, but then that's not the kind of person you want in your life, right?
Exactly.
Like, the only person who would disrespect that kind of growth is probably someone, you know, who doesn't have a high self-value.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because, you know, there's haters gonna hate, right? Why?
I'm sorry, I really love your passion right now. So I just.
Well, I am passionate about this. Haters are gonna hate, and you know, not everyone's gonna be happy for you. But like for me, as someone who, you know, has a lot of growing to do still, but definitely has spent a lot of time growing myself, I would have nothing but respect for that, despite, you know, whether or not there are romantic feelings at that time.
You know, let me ask you this. If you are single, right? Let's say you are single.
Okay, you're single.
Right? And then you ran into that person. Will that be something where he's like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about this person. Maybe that's...
I would definitely call it into question. Absolutely. I'd be like, is this a sign? This could be a sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would need more than that, to be honest. Just that one interaction where I'm like, oh man, this person changed their life. Like, hey, one day, you don't know. It's easy to fake something for one day.
You know, and that's why I tell every guy, that's why we tell you guys to focus on your purpose and mission in life. You don't know what's going to happen, but you always must focus going forward. If all hope is lost, it's okay. You got something, you have something, and that's growth, right? Yep. So you heard it from her. Don't beat yourself up from your past.
I got one more.
What's up?
The other thing that I noticed in this comment is this guy says like, oh, it made me feel like a loser. And I hate the word loser. I hate a lot of like negative self-talk, to be honest, because You know what I think the kind of person who has those kinds of words, the negative self-talk in their vocabulary, I think that when I see them on the street, they're not walking tall. I think they're not looking people in the eyes. You know, I think that they're probably not the kind of person that I see myself with. Not because of, you know, whatever they did or anything like that, but just like, because I can see that they don't have a good relationship with themselves.
Ooh.
So
say it again. Say it again.
I'm not going to say it again. But I really don't. And I think that, you know, in terms of forgiving yourself, forgive yourself as soon as possible and get yourself into a place where you do have a good relationship with yourself, where you walk around with confidence because you know who you are and you know where you're going. And, you know, you may recognize where you've been and where you've maybe fallen short in the past, but you know that you can move past that.
You know, I really love everything you just said. And you know what? Guys, continue. If all hope is lost, the person doesn't want to talk to you or anything like that.
Then you don't want to talk to them.
Just do you. Just do you. Remember to focus and don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. Just focus. And if you have to get it out of your system, talk it over on a video, just only dealing with yourself. And of course, we also offer to help people out as well. You know, me and Ruby,
how many people are there?
Myself and Ruby want to help you thrive in life. Okay?
Absolutely.
So we are here to help you. So if these videos are meant to help you. But if you want to thrive in life, we have the connections, we have everything you need to help you get going into the next direction. And that is the direction of moving on up and moving into gold, because at the end of the day, you are gold. So again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you guys want to see more videos of me and Ruby, obviously, hit in the comment section. And of course, you know, I want to ask you, if you, let's just say you are, I'm going to leave you this. If you had left, you know, you and your ex, or someone that you've once dated, right? Or someone that you know, were dating and all of a sudden it just stopped. Let me ask you this question. You focused on yourself, you got yourself back together and all that stuff. Do you see yourself really back with that person? And what does it look like being back with someone that you once loved? I want you to really think about that. So drop that in the comment section. Of course, and you guys find this information valuable, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a share. And of course, it is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz and
Ruby.
And we're coming at you with another video. Yes. Another one.
Another one.
And another one. And another one. Take it easy, guys. I can't take this. Okay.